we wrote in our book back in 1999 that today we are automating services. And we're automating services with the full force that we previously automated the agrarian and the industrial economy. And we argued that we must, and indeed we are, shifting to an experience economy, where what people most value is the time that they spend in places or events. I have Las Vegas pictured because my co-author Joe Pine and I believe that Las Vegas is the epicenter of the experience economy. And most people think of Las Vegas from a consumer perspective. But the most important piece of commerce that happens in Las Vegas happens at that Las Vegas Convention Center and Mandalay Bay and the Venetian and every other resort that has trade show space where new business relationships are formed. That drives the economy more than any consumer experience in Las Vegas. So since the writing of our book back in 1999, we have detected 5 different directions in which experience thinking has been applied. The first I like to call in name-only experiences. And that is to take what you currently do and call it an experience. The most egregious offender that I've ever seen in this regard is in Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon Experience. It's the largest font for the word experience I've ever seen on display. And you think about, well, what might I experience there? Some simulated helicopter ride, some information about how it was formed and so forth. No, it's a souvenir shop. It's an experience in name only. How does this occur in business-to-business arena? Well, it's when you see stuff like this, often generated by the consultants. Right? You take what you currently do, your CRM program, your EFT, this acronym, that acronym, circle graphs, bubble charts, 2x2 matrices, whatever they are, and you give them the headline, customer experience. And it's meaningless if you don't think more rigorously about what are we talking about when we talk about customer experience. Because this is what people most value, of course people are going to latch on to the term. Right? So let me, with the next 4 directions, talk about those applications that are far more legitimate. Next, let's talk about experiential marketing, a term that did not exist when Gary read our book in 1999. In fact, Bert Schmidt, the marketer who was thinking in this arena at NYU, was calling this marketing aesthetics. This is taking experience thinking and applying it to the realm of marketing, making your marketing more experiential in hopes of selling more goods and services. My favorite example to illustrate this is Red Bull, because Red Bull invents new experiences that they don't sell. It's clearly a marketing experience aimed at selling more Red Bull, but it's things like their Flugtag competition. These are man-made flying machines that don't fly. And it tours different cities. They came to Cleveland one year where I live, and you can see all the different themed contraptions going off the jump, right? An experiential marketing event. Tens of thousands of people there. Everybody had a sign they could hold up. A panel of judges you can see there. I just remember Bootsy Collins from Funkadelic was one of the judges. That's all I really remember. Or Red Bull has invented downhill ice skating. Very Red Bull as a brand. Well, what's an example of this in terms of business marketing and business-to-business relationships? Well, I love the example of the Case Tomahawk Customer Experience Center in the woodlands of Wisconsin. It's Case, who makes bulldozers, backhoes, cherry pickers, sells them to different construction companies, has what is essentially a giant sandbox, and they fly prospects in to literally play with the equipment. No presentations about functional requirements and how our equipment's better than the competition. They just let them play. And if they can get prospects to come in and play with the equipment, they have found a greater than 80% success rate in closing the deal than if they simply rely upon their traditional sales process. experiential marketing in a business-to-business relationship. The next application, the next direction, is applying experience thinking to operations, what has been called customer experience management, or CEM. A great example of this is what Progressive Insurance does with their immediate response vehicles, or what they call IRVs. It's basically their claims adjustment operations on wheels. It's a mobile claims adjuster who literally tours the cities they serve waiting for accidents to happen. Now, they're based in Cleveland, Ohio, where I live, so I've been talking about Progressive for well over a decade. And I remember being in a conference much like this. At the end of the talk, a woman from the back of the room made a beeline right for me. I could see her coming. And huffing and puffing, she said, Jim, I have to tell you, I didn't used to be insured by Progressive until I was hit by somebody who was. And in fact, that reaction has happened so often, Progressive now equips their claims adjusters with the ability to sign people up for policy at the scene of the accident. Taking an inherently negative situation and turning basic operations into a new capability, right, to create some demand for their offerings. In terms of business to business, you don't normally think of the Geek Squad today as a business to business, but when Robert Stevens first founded the Geek Squad, this is one of the earliest known photographs of the Geek Squad, Robert Stevens' picture on the left. They're exclusively business to business, helping small businesses, home offices. And their big kick in growing the business is when the Geek Squad started to service the film industry. They would set up all the computers on location for various film productions. That was when they first got a bump in the size of their business. And operationally, in terms of customer experience management, one of the reasons Hollywood loved them is because Robert took the theme of comedy with a straight face and took ordinary computer repair and installation and instead turned it into a 24-hour computer repair task force that today has 25,000 special agents roaming the planet, still helping some small businesses, but of course migrating to consumers with the acquisition by Best Buy. And let me give you this operational tool. From the day Robert started the company, not only was it themed comedy with a straight face, but he developed what he called his giant don't list. He wrote down all the things that traditional computer repair and installation companies normally do, and he did not allow himself to do any of them. Minivans, no minivans. Geekmobiles. Polo shirts, no polo shirts. Instead, white short-sleeve shirts, black clip-on ties. If you ask him, why clip-on ties, he will tell you with a totally straight face. Same reason law enforcement wears them, in case there's an altercation. Another thing on his list, rectangular business cards. No, instead of oval business cards, and badges. Special agent comes to your small business, knocks on the door, you come answer. Special agent 73 Geek Squad, here for your computer. Step aside, ma'am. He would hire based on a comfort level, based on flashing the badge, because he didn't want nerdy geeks. He wanted cool geeks in his operations. The Darden Publishing has published a multimedia case study on the Geek Squad called The Geek Squad Guide to World Domination. In fact, the vision statement of the Geek Squad is 2 words, world domination. There's some 16 video clips in this DVD about the Geek Squad. And I love the quote that they put on the back of the DVD. Robert Stevens says, "Advertising is the tax you pay for being unremarkable." Advertising is the tax you pay for being unremarkable. Running that ad in that trade rag, that's the tax you're paying for being unremarkable in your operations. I got 3 of these, by the way, so watch your coffee. Here they come. You ready? You ready? Ready? All right, second one, and a third one, there we go. All right, oh, off the thing, scramble, run. All right. Let's go to the 4th direction. Somebody scrambling for that, good. That's like the foul ball that went over there, very good. All right, so 3 of you get that. It's only available on Amazon. Grab a copy if you'd like. All right, 4th, of course, the digital realm, digital experiences, both operations and marketing can be applied to the digital realm. In fact, the whole world of apps is but a platform for digital experiences, both operational and marketing. My favorite app is from Lego. Sells for about $17 on Amazon. It comes in a kit. It's called Life of George. It comes with over 100 Lego pieces, a mat, a code to download the app. And I bought it for my daughter when she was about 13. What happens is the very first pattern comes up the boat and on the app, and then you press the button for start, and then see how quickly you can make the boat, lay it on the mat, take a picture, press the button, and it times how fast you made it. And then you do it for the second item that you're going to make, and the third item, some 300 different items to see how fast you can make it. My daughter spent the entire weekend going through all the different patterns. And when she's done, she can, of course, then make her own, upload her creation for others to participate in the whole shared experience of that Lego building community. Now, my favorite business-to-business or business marketing example of digital experience is not an app, but it's just a digitized video. Perhaps you recall it. And it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm surprised more people in B2B relationships have not emulated it. Remember Blendtec's Will It Blend? This is an industrial blender that they sell to restaurants, and in a very David Letterman-esque fashion, they would basically have this gentleman, the scientist in the lab, up on the screen, will it blend, will it bend, will it blend, 50 Bic pens, Co-Chicken, that's a Coke and a chicken, an iPhone. And of course it always blends, because the selling proposition is it can blend anything. But this was business marketing, but taking consumer ideas and applying it to that realm. Hugely successful, and I've heard 800% increase in sales because of this digital experience that they simply posted on YouTube, eventually had their own website for it. Digital experiences. Finally, and what I ultimately care most about in the long term is experience offerings. And that is attaching a price to the place or the event that people experience. Charging for the experience. Making it an experience offering. There's all kinds of new experiences emerging. Tough Mudder, for example. But my favorite new experience, new to the world, invented in Europe, went to the Pacific, has now went to Canada. Now there's hundreds in the United States. In fact, I just read of the first business-to-business escape room right outside of Chicago. For example, the company Exit out of the Netherlands. What escape rooms are is basically dimensionalized video games. You pay, line up, and go into this room. They close the doors, and you have to figure out how to get out, how to escape. What levers to pull, what drawers to open, and the clock is ticking. And if you can't figure it out, buzzer goes off, doors open, you leave, get back in line, and try to figure it out the next time. There's an explosion of these escape rooms in the United States. Why? Because the haunted house industry that has their own association, hard to believe, started by churches years ago, haunted houses. The haunted house industry, very seasonal business, went, we have the capability to build these things out. The set design, the theatrics, the acting. Why don't we supplement the rest of our year with these escape rooms? From a business-to-business standpoint, let me tell you about Tech Shop, headquartered in San Francisco, now also in Pittsburgh and Detroit, rolling out to more and more cities. Tech Shop, since we're so divorced from the industrial economy, they're taking advantage of the whole maker movement. What Tech Shop is they sell memberships to entrepreneurs, startups, anybody who wants to prototype a new good. And they have just about every machine shop tool you can possibly imagine under one roof. You can never afford to buy this equipment on your own, so you pay a membership fee, so it's an experience offering. You pay for classes. You pay for your time using the equipment to prototype your new thing that you might go launch a business with. Wonderful example of a new business charging for experiences, and ironically, in this case, business is the one to go back and manufacture goods.
you.